Breath results in a DUI case are, I always say, kind of like the murder weapon in a murder case. They love to say, this guy blew a 16 and he could have run over everybody out there, and the prosecutors love to show the breath slip. The breath machines are computers like everything else. I mean, how many times you have to reboot your iPhone or whatever you phone, or sometimes your car's got to be serviced. There's a computer glitch in there. You know, they're not sending people to Mars on these technology, these machines. Most of the software in these things is way old. I mean, they're getting it cheap bargains because they're trying to save money and sell these machines. South Carolina only uses one breath machine. We do not do roadside tests. We don't do the portable breath machines. They're just not accurate. We only do it at the jail. And I hear that a lot of people, they didn't give me a test on the road. I said, well, we don't do that in South Carolina. We have the Data Master from National Patents, the only one that we use in South Carolina. They're maintained by SLED. South Carolina, many years ago, was very open about the records. So we can get online and put in some information and see a lot of the things about the machine if we see something that just doesn't look right. You know, I've done a lot of BA reviews, and if I look at somebody that blows a 17, but they don't look like a 17, there's something going on with the machine. We also ask for supplemental things such as breath graphs, which they don't like to give us, but we have a right to them. We've got an expert in Indiana that we send it to, knows more about the machine than anybody walking. He's probably the only expert in the country. He's a lawyer too, which makes him doubly dangerous. But he can look at that thing and he'll say, yeah, we got a problem. And there's times we utilize him in trial because the state's gonna send the SLED technician up here to testify where he knows a lot about it. If he says there's a problem, we've got an argument. We just don't lay down on a breath reading. But there are things that South Carolina has that gets them a lot of folks to a good position is they don't do the procedure right. In South Carolina, you really got to do everything you're supposed to do. And sometimes the cops, nothing against them, they're young. They get a issue with the machine, a status code issue, and they think that that's a refusal. That is not a refusal. And we get a lot of people that are written for refusal, and then they get a 6 months license suspension. They're like, I was blowing, I don't know what they're talking about, and we're able to look at it and say, well, there was a status code saying the machine wasn't working properly, but the cops they get frustrated and they're like, I just don't feel like messing with this thing anymore, and they just write them as a refusal. So there's a lot of things we look at, and I've testified as an expert on breath machines many times. I don't do it anymore, but in my youth I did. They're not perfect, and you got to have somebody that understands that's done their homework, had their training. John and I both had the factory training numerous times. I've actually taught the course. You got to know what you're looking at.